Now, last week, ILTV hosted CEO of Kineticann Ofer Segal, who told us about their innovative technology integrating cannabis into food. And so naturally, we had to go and check it out for ourselves. ILTV's Emanuelle Kadosh brings us all the details. Let's take a look.
In the last decade or so, the world has witnessed an undeniable and beyond impressive revolution in the approach to cannabis. People all over the world have become well aware of the fact that this plant has a lot more to offer than just recreational purposes. More specifically, the food and beverage industries. They're looking at cannabis as the next big game changer, meaning that the Israeli tech company Kineticann is already 10 steps ahead of the game.
Now, Kineticann developed a very unique technology how to incorporate basically oil-based molecules, specific cannabis molecules, with water, and to get an emulsion or a powder that will fit in any food product we want.
Today, we can see foods and beverages with cannabis inside them at designated dispensaries. Yet, these are considered cannabis products and therefore not classified or regulated as foods. A major challenge for companies like Kineticann has been to turn cannabis into a food ingredient that will ultimately meet the industry's standard requirements and regulations.
So we're talking about two major challenges. One would be a technological challenge. As I mentioned before, how do you get to something that is stable and works properly? And the second would be how to fit it into a food and beverage industry, regulatory-wise and standard-wise.
Many people think that combining the cannabis field with foods and beverages is as simple as sprinkling some on, but it's a much more complicated process than that.
So we developed smart food ingredients that can optimize the use of cannabis within the product that we are aiming for. It's not as easy as sprinkling just cannabinoids on pizza, for that matter. Every type of food has a way to produce it. You need to understand the production. You need to understand the production line. You need to know when to put it in. You need to know how your emulsion, whether it's powder or liquid, will fit and will keep stable and will get the same result time after time. So there's a lot to it. We are focusing on a few parameters that are needed by them. So we are talking about consistency. We are talking about accurate dosing. We are talking about controlled release, which means when it's going to hit the bloodstream and how much time it's going to stay there. We are talking about harnessing the entourage effect. We are using different types of cannabinoids, terpenoids, and other herbal extract to get the best energetic effect. And we are talking about how much percentage of material we can have within each product.
Amazing. And I know that we are going into the kitchen to learn a little bit about the technology and how exactly it works. Let's go. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing. I can see that it's a little chemical process going on here. Share with me.
So as you probably know, cannabis extracts are by nature oil-soluble compounds. And if we want to make it more suitable for different applications and products, so we have to manipulate these extracts and make them oil-soluble, for example. So, for example, this is a material, a compound that we are producing. And another example that we have here, that we use in a reduced fat ice cream, a vegan ice cream, lychee.
My favorite's pineapple, so I'm definitely gonna have to try that first.
Go ahead.
I have been hearing that this is the good stuff, that this ice cream is where it's at. And it is where it's at. I love this. You guys are obviously looking to become a major key player in the cannabis world when it comes to the food and beverage industries. So you guys are engaging in a crowd funding, fundraising campaign. What exactly for?
Yeah, so we finished our R&D. We got the ingredients ready and we're in production. We get a lot of interest from many food and beverage companies that understand our abilities, that understand how we meet the market. And we are raising money in order to be there when the market hits ground, and everybody will want to have food and beverages combined with cannabis.